Good morning from Stockholm. Today there will be a city tour followed by lunch. In the afternoon, we will be taking a cruise to Helsinki, which is in Finland. It's a beautiful day in Stockholm. Clear blue skies again. Breakfast this morning. I don't know what is this. Bread, cheese, cold meat, some greens, salad. This looks interesting. I don't know what it is. Kali's original. I think it's cheese or something.
It's fish egg.
Fish?
Fish eggs.
Fish eggs?
Caviar.
Oh, very interesting. This will be the butter. Yogurt. There are some yogurt, sour milk, cornflakes. Champagne, wine. Our young, pretty Swedish lady. We're off for our Stockholm city tour.
Consists of many islands. Yeah, the city itself is located in a number of islands, and from there we will head on to visit the Vasa Museum. That one, the ticket is inclusive to visit inside the Vasa Museum. The Vasa Museum, just like the Titanic boat, but it was way back many centuries ago, during the time where they built this warship, with cannons inside the warship. But because the warship is too heavy, the moment it set sail into the sea, it sunk. So after many years later, they tried to take this Vasa ship out from the sea, and then they try to sort of like what you call that, repair it, to its original shape, for people to visit and see. So that is the Vasa Museum, which we will be going into, and from there to go to the pier. The pier will be very similar to the pier that we went to on the first day in Copenhagen. So this one, we head on to the pier, and again we'll do the same procedure of unloading our bags and then putting the big bags in the container, which you will only see your big bags later tomorrow in Helsinki. You only have to carry your hand carry bag on board to the cruise, and the cruise liner will set. We have to be there before 3 o'clock to register and so on, but the cruise liner will only set sail at 4:45 if I'm not mistaken, and then you will head on, and all the way to Helsinki, and we will arrive in Helsinki tomorrow morning. Again by 10 o'clock we have to disembark, and we will start off the tour there with a guide, also with a local guide also in Helsinki. When we finish the tour, tomorrow timing is critical and crucial, because we have first disembark the cruise, and then we have the city tour, and by the time we finish our city tour, we have to rush to another pier to take the ferry to Tallinn. And when we arrive in Tallinn, we have to do the short city tour of Tallinn before we head on to the airport, right, to take our flight, domestic flight from Tallinn to Copenhagen. Of the ship was restored when they salvaged it in 1961. So all in all, there are about 700 sculptured figures and carved ornament of King Gustav II, the Adolf, who is also known as the Lion of the North. He is the one who commissioned the building of this Vasa ship, and so the figurehead of a lion in the front, at the front of the ship. And just the lion head itself is 4 meters long and weight about 450 kilograms. Stand on human rights. Immigrants from Africa, Middle East and Yugoslavia, a lot of them came over and settled down here, and that is why later on it created a number of problems, like recently that you all seen that they have this burning of the Bible, of the Quran, yeah, and it created a big issue with all the Islamic countries. To view the city hall, take pictures, and then we'll set a time to come back to the bus, the same place, before we get on board the bus, and then we do the rest of the other part of the city. So later on, whatever you do not need to bring down, yeah, you can leave it, but make sure it's not valuables. Passport and money must always be with you. You can leave it in the bus and then walk down together. When we walk down, be careful. The site where the bus is parked is actually a bicycle lane, right? So once you get down, before you get down, actually you have to look your right, left, is there any bicycle coming or not, and then quickly pass the bicycle lane and go into the walking lane, not the bicycle lane. Yeah, be very careful, because bicycles here, just like in Copenhagen, just like in Amsterdam, the bicycles will not give way because they are in their lane. Well, we can actually see that Stockholm is a very clean city, yeah, with lots of buildings around it. You have very centrally located. Yeah, you have the railway station here on the right, and because it's located on 14 islands, so there are many bridges, and there are also the so-called canals along the city. The good thing is today being a Sunday, there's so much less traffic and it's easier for us to move around.
It's the city of Stockholm.
Now on the right, you see the top here, right? The building top there. That is where we are going to head to, the city hall. Wear your jacket, yes, for the wind is cold. Mẹ mẹ đây. Okay. Where you want to go?
Very colorful zebra crossing.
Do you share?
The zebra crossing, very colorful. Johnny.
Okay. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, please follow. I'll be behind. It's always a little bit too much windy here because of the door here and the lake there. Maybe you already know that Stockholm is located between two waters. The lake, he has already told you, and the Baltic Sea. And this is Lake Mälaren. We have more than 96,000 lakes. Wow. And the Lake Mälaren, it's a name, it's number 3, the third largest one. It's very long, 120 kilometers. Runs from west to east into the Baltic Sea, exactly where we have the heart of Stockholm. The most important of all the 14 islands, the old town. So very strategic position of the island there. Well, it's very deep, 70 meters, because it has been a fjord in the past. If you have been to Norway, you remember how the fjord looked like, okay, of this reason. And it looks like a snake, like that, with around 7,000 islands in the lake. Wow. Well. And the water is very clean. You can go fishing without any license here. Since the middle of the 1600s, because the last queen in the Swedish history, Queen Christina, decided, and it's still like that. You can, in the middle of the city, go fishing and get salmons and something called salmon between a trout and a salmon. But they must be minimum 30 centimeters. Otherwise, back. Yeah. You can imagine why, or understand why. Well. Okay, this is a city hall. This building looks much older than what it is. It's only 102 years old. It has been built between 1911 and 23. It took so long time. Not only because it's like a giant, more than 8 million bricks. Inside 1 million handmaids like in the Middle Ages. The architect was a young guy, Ragnar Östberg. He had gorgeous ideas. It must be so and so and so. But very often, no money enough to continue the construction. So they collected money, donations. At the end, after 12 years, it was ready. Wow. Well, we have 2 city halls, actually. On the same island, we are on the island of the Kings, called Kings Island, the second largest one of the 14 islands. We have a second one for the normal administration of the city. We have 2 tribunals, court, we have the police, the secret police, and the seat, official seat, etc. This one is only for the political administration of the city. The city council, Okay. It's enormous. It costs so much money, as I told you. So we are using all these rooms and halls for different events because we have to use them. Otherwise, why did we build such a gorgeous building? Recognize a lot of different styles. It's Renaissance, it's Baroque, it's Gothic. What else? No. We are in the beginning of the 1900s. We have a new style, so-called Art Deco, or in French, Art Déco. Okay, decorative art. And in Art Deco, you recognize all the older styles, but never as a copy of the older styles. It's just a new interpretation of old styles. For example, it looks like no, it's not Baroque, okay? It's Gothic down there, but because they are so beautiful. and they represent our country. Okay. Wow, they should be. Then another very peculiar symbol. Okay, you're from Malaysia.
Yes.
Oh, very happy. It's a mosque.
This is the city hall, where the Nobel Prizes are handed out.
We see the backside of the downtown. In the concert house, they first receive the prizes and then they come here for the banquet. 1,300 of the guests. And who pay for everything? The foundation, the Nobel Prize Foundation. So we pay a lot of taxes, minimum 33% here in Stockholm, but we don't care about this banquet because we don't pay. Well, and the banquets cost more and more for every year. Yes, of course, you say, because of the food. The price is increasing all every day, we can say. No, 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 you are wrong. Well, for example, last year I got, sorry, something to eat from our driver. Well, from the 1,300 guests, can you imagine that 277 got something else to eat? Wow! Why? So-called intolerances or allergical problems. I cannot eat that, another one cannot eat that, I don't like fish, no, I don't like chicken, blah, 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 etc., etc. So, of this reason, the banquet costs more and more for every year. People in my age, we didn't know what does it mean, allergy, how to spell this word. Today is very common. I am completely abnormal because I don't have any allergies, because I belong to the older people. Well, I am guess how old I am. 78, and the king is 79. Wow, thank you. I'm a little cuckoo, but yeah. Okay, look on your right hand side. These buildings, they don't say anything to you, but here in Stockholm there are something special. For the first time in the 30s, the architect decided to build apartments, create apartments with a lot of air and light. And you see a lot of windows. And for the first time, balconies. That was something new here in Stockholm. And a little garden between two buildings, you can see that. Something new. Price is, you have to add a zero, so 1.5 million euros. But you pay more for, especially for the logistics, for position. For example, here you pay more because a free view here. You have a park here. And then the floor, on which floor you have the apartment, you pay also more on the 5th floor, for example. And if you have a balcony or 2 balconies or more balconies, for this detail you pay more. And even for example, if you have a fireplace, or if the building is from the 1800s, for example. Well, it's very expensive, yeah. And why is it so expensive? Even because in the 50s, 60s and 70s, our fantastic politicians, they decided to demolish the central part of the city. You will see. No war here. Listen, since 1814. No war. Okay? But why so many new buildings? Because they demolished the central part of the city. Everything should consist in concrete, glass and steel. What a pity. Everything should be more than a new. Wow. Or has a lot of parks. We can say that 1/3 of the city consists of public parks like this one. And then we have a lot of water because the 2 waters, the lake and the sea, and 1/3 of water. This park is very popular, especially that part here in front of us, especially in summertime. People used to come to this park for playing football, cricket, what else, just to rest, to relax. And you can even go fishing, as I told you, or take a bath, because the water is very, very clean, as I told you, here in Stockholm. Hasn't been reconstructed or rebuilt it, etc., is genuine from and
It's a prison.
yeah.
唔係劇名邊啊？
Americans. Oh.
So, okay, we begin that side to the right. All that green area, it's a third largest island, and this is the best ones, the first ones in everything. So that tower on the top is the tallest one in the beautiful part of Europe. Then you can see and the TV tower is of course. Okay, two smaller islands. They have been military islands. And we have the beautiful Stockholm, the old town. Can you recognize them? The tower on the city hall? What do you think?
The Swedish
Grand Hotel
Parliament
didn't
building.
exist. No. The best pub in the city? No. But Russia, there in the east, the most dangerous country to Sweden, okay? Still today. Här, du svänger, men det är för sent. Det spelar ingen roll, det är bättre där. Okay, we take that. Yeah, perfect. Here we have another park called King's Park. In winter time we used to freeze part of this park so people can go skating. Then to the left we have St. James Church, Lutheran, but it's still called St. James because it has been Catholic until 1525. Here to the right, this narrow street, they have demolished everything for that building. You didn't come to Stockholm for looking at that building. It's better to go to Shanghai or to Singapore, yeah. Okay. Now another park here to the left, dedicated to one Swedish chemist from the 1700s. You have never heard. Berzelius. Never heard it. Why he's so famous? Especially today, he discovered 4 chemical elements. And among these 4 elements, lithium. Wow. For the batteries. Wow. Very dangerous element, actually. Yeah. But very important today. In front of us, with the golden ornaments on the facade, we have the Dramatic Theatre for 1908. Yes. Here to the left, here ends the main street for the biggest brands, Gucci, Armani, Louis Vuitton, Rolex, etc., etc. A bay here. Why it's the word bay so important in Scandinavia, I will tell you. Well, in the 4 Scandinavian languages, in Icelandic, Norwegian, Swedish and Danish, a bay is called vik. Wow! Who were the Vikings? We don't say vik, we read vik. Bay people, Vik, Bay, ing is like bowling, okay? Came home. They came home with new ideas, etc. We have a museum not far away from here, the so-called Museum of Antiquities. In that museum we have 8 kilograms jewelries of gold made by the Vikings. So they weren't wild, hanging from the trees. We have Thursday, torsdag in Scandinavian. In front of us another park called after Alfred Nobel, and behind the trees we have the embassy of Israel, but they had to move from that place because of that. Yeah, I call them a terrorist. So we are leaving the mainland. A lot of boats everywhere. We have so many islands in the archipelago. You will see, you will take a boat to Finland. You will see islands. You are coming from that part of the left, the Nordic Museum, but we are approaching the Vasa Museum here. Our driver is not allowed to remain here. He has to leave this area, and then we will call him. He will come back and he will pick us up. Now, the procedure inside of the museum is as following. We will go inside all together. You will follow me. I will I will put a little red lamp on a piece of paper, and because it's a little bit dark and a lot of tourists inside, so follow me please. These
A ver nuestro grupo rápido, que tenemos otro detrás. Por favor, adelante. Vamos, rápido.
Getting the tickets first. We are supposed to follow the red light. Oh, the Viking ship.
Visited of all the museums here by us. More than 1.5 million visitors every year, because this wreck, it's only one all over the world, quite intact. 95% is original, it's not a reconstruction. Of course it is. Well, I told you a little bit on the balcony there. Anyway, we are at the beginning of the 6th against Denmark and Poland for the hegemony of the Baltic Sea. And the king was Gustavus Adolphus II, very special king. He lost the father when he was only 5 years old. And already at that time people told him, you will become the biggest king, in Scandinavia, maybe all over the world. Okay. So a little bit more you can understand his mentality, like that. I used to call him the fat king. Why? Because he had so big belly. He died at the age of 36 only, but big belly. You know, that time to have a big belly, it meant to be. When he died, he was only 36 years old.
Oh.
But and he was so heavy that he had to buy a special horse in Germany. The name is Streif. It's in the museum. Well, for the poor Streif, he had to pay 100 money from that time. A very good horse costed 10 money. He has been killed during a battle north of Germany. And you know, the horses always come home. And when Streif came home without the king, oh, they have killed him. And they found the body of the king, only with the underwear. They had already stolen everything. Of course, of course. They decided to take away the railways, no more tram, they are disturbing the traffic, they said. But in 1980 they have restored this line, the only one, number 7, from the center station until the end of this island. And we will reach that place. Flowers, flowers. One of the 2 Viking museums. On the top you have a villa with 40 rooms, has been built for Prince Wilhelm of Sweden. He married the Russian Princess Maria Pavlovna. Here to the right it has been private villa residence, turned now into a hotel. Belong to the Scandinavian chain of the Scandinavian hotels.
I'm Jai. Museum, a lot of museums here.
Here on your right hand side, an equestrian statue of one of the kings in the present dynasty of the Bernadotte. This guy was Charles XV. Our king, Charles Gustavo XVI, is number 7 in this dynasty. And the first one was a general of Napoleon, Jean-Baptiste Bernadotte. The last king in the Vasa dynasty, Louis XIII, didn't have any children. So the Swedes, the noblemen, went to Paris, asking Napoleon if he, just in case, knew someone who could become king of Sweden. What? Of course, I have the right person for Sweden, he answered. One of my generals, his name is Jean-Baptiste Bernadotte, perfect for Sweden. No, answered the Swedes. He's not a nobleman. No problem. He will be Count of Pontecorvo in Italy from tomorrow. Is it okay now? Ah, yes, okay. Now he's a nobleman. We will accept him. And aber auf Deutsch, in German. But this guy didn't want to come to Sweden. No, 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 he said, I will never move to that country so cold, etc., etc. I have my friends, my family and everything here. But Napoleon and Jean-Baptiste didn't like each other, okay? They fought all the time. And Napoleon forced him to marry one of his mistresses, Désirée Cléry. Beautiful girl, 13 years younger than Jean-Baptiste, but completely uneducated, just beautiful. And in French, you say coquette, which means, oh my God, I'm a queen, I'm beautiful, etc. Oh, like that. Okay, when Jean-Baptiste should come to Sweden, be coronated, crowned king of Sweden, she didn't want to come. She said, no, 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 go to Sweden, take your son, I will remain here in Paris. No, 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 I will never move to that cold country. Oh, she talked, you know, with this French accent. So she said, no, 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 they don't drink wine, they drink only beer. And it's terrible cold there. White bears are walking on the streets and they don't speak French either. So a lot of excuses. Okay, and she remained in Paris because she had a lot of lovers. Well, she didn't like him, she was forced to marry him, etc. Well, here we are driving on the most posh of all the streets in our country, built like a boulevard in Paris, the largest apartments all over the country, up to 16 rooms, very expensive now. If you want to buy one of them, for 300 square meters, you have to pay $7 million minimum. Wow! But they're very beautiful. And here, at the beginning, this street was private, only for people living here. Who lived here at the end of the 1800s? Businessmen, very rich businessmen. Well, back to Désirée Cléry for the Queen and Bernadotte, if you like gossips. Well, he was alone here, remained alone during 11 years in the royal palace. Do you think he was a little older, that he had problems to get company? A lot of ladies here, of course, younger or not. Every one of them were prepared to, okay, free of charge. Okay. He was a king. No, you are wrong. Because it was very cold, you know, in the royal palace. And the king had always a young officer. He worked like an adjutant as well, helping the king to dress up, helping him to say, natty, natty, good night, etc., etc., and giving him a hand, etc., etc. So no more comments, okay? You understand, this young guy was a noble officer, okay, who helped him in the bedroom. So the macho guy, the general, maybe he wasn't so macho, okay, in the bedroom now. But he has been a very good king. What doesn't matter, okay? Well, that was gossips, but not a legend. Now, one more time. The dramatic theatre. Now,
After that city tour of Stockholm, we are now heading for lunch. Everybody is hungry. Lunch is only at 1. We have 10 minutes, so everybody is going to this Asian market.
It's fine, Mr. Lee. Inside. Asian market.
Lunch is at this restaurant, Hubertus. Hello. Meatballs with potatoes. Second course. The view outside the window of the restaurant. That was a scrumptious lunch of Swedish meatballs with cranberry sauce and nice fluffy potatoes. Next, we'll be going to the pier for our cruise, our overnight cruise to Helsinki. I will do that up in the next episode. Continue to follow me if you want to see my cruise ship.